What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, the Colts released their unofficial depth chart for preseason week 1 versus the Baltimore Ravens. That game is going to be coming up this week. They released it the other day, so we're going to go ahead and look at it now and react to it a little bit. Now, again, this is... It has some people listed as starters right away, other people not. So we'll kind of just throw it in there based off what we're seeing here. But first things first, Cody, you have to look at it and say the quarterback situation. That's what everybody's wanting to know. Obviously, we have not heard an official statement yet from Shane Steichen on who will be starting week 1 for the preseason against the Baltimore Ravens. We did hear whoever starts week 1 in preseason is likely going to have the other person be the starter for that next matchup. So it's basically just a matter of who gets the opportunity first. And with quarterback, it's listed on the depth chart as Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson Sr. Are you surprised by that at all?
Not at all, especially with how we've heard the Colts basically say all along, right, that it was going to be, back and forth pretty much the entirety of camp and training camp and preseason and things like that. So, no, I'm not too surprised, to be honest with you at all. I mean, there is a part of me that's like, my gosh, can you just, name a starter already so we're stop doing this? I guess that's where you are when you're in, this
kind of keep everybody in suspense for as long as you can.
It's like, goodness gracious, he's so secretive about it right now.
He is one of the most secretive coaches in the league, I swear. Now, the next thing with the running back position, interesting development here, Cody. Running back 2 is not DJ Giddens. As a matter of fact, Cody, it's not Khalil Herbert either. Tyler Goodson is currently listed as running back 2 on the depth chart right now. Do you think that's just because it's preseason, or do you think that means something more?
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly surprised because from what we've heard a little bit during camp, it seems like DJ Giddens had did more of that RB2, right? Yeah. That's kind of what we've been hearing. So all of a sudden, you hear that, he's actually going to be, the third running back potentially or fourth. And, it's going to be Tyler Goodson. But, it is preseason. Sometimes things are a little wonky in preseason. So I'm not taking it too seriously at this current time because, again, it's week 1 of the preseason. There's still multiple weeks. But I do think Tyler Goodson, that's a good sign for him, making the roster and contributing to this team. So I was a little bit surprised to see that, but also I'm not going to probably overreact at this point. If we go out here and it's, the third preseason game, he's still RB2. Okay, let's have a little bit more of a conversation. But I think as it is right now, from what we've seen in camp, he's gotten some run with the ones and some runs with the twos, but I don't know. It feels like it's been more DJ Giddens from what we're hearing. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all, honestly, if all 4 of these running backs see some sort of snaps here and, contribute to this team. I mean, we know how much the Colts in the past have used, RB by committee. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if these guys all have different roles and different packages and stuff like that. And, we're talking all the time about how you want to, help take some of the load off of Jonathan Taylor. And if you can have some of these guys doing that, including, Tyler Goodson, that's just good for your team in general. So, yeah, I was a little bit surprised, but I'm not going to overreact quite yet.
And going forward, I think the only other not really surprising thing when it comes to the offense, Tyler Warren listed as tight end 1. I can't say I'm surprised. And the only other thing, I guess, is Bortolini being center 1, which, again, I know you said that was a competition. I didn't really feel like it was.
It has been a competition from what we've heard during camp, though, to be fair. They've been saying it's been pretty even from what people were saying.
Yeah.
So it has been a competition, but how much of a real competition is it? Are they really going to roll out Danny Pinter over, your draft pick from a year ago that you think could be the center of the future? I don't know, but it has been a competition for sure. But I do think definitely Bortolini had the advantage coming into camp, and I think I'm not shocked at all to see him continue that,
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, that's it for the offense. Let's go ahead and bring up the defensive side, which has a few things here that are of interest. Starters for the defense as it currently sits right now is Kwity Paye on the edge, DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart in the middle, and Laiatu Latu on the other edge. Linebacker wise, Zaire Franklin obviously there at the Mike linebacker. Now, the weak side linebacker is where it gets interesting here, Cody. As it currently sits, Cameron McGrone is the number one weak side linebacker, followed by Carlisle, followed by Austin Iajeke, and Saguna Luby is actually the fourth linebacker on that group. Again, is this a just a preseason type thing, or maybe were we giving too much credit to Carlisle? What's your reaction to this?
Yeah, I know you were a little bit more higher on Carlisle than I was. I'm like, I just don't think you just hand him that position. I think it's a real competition. I mean, I really do. And I think Cameron McGrone, he's been in the league enough where he could actually play some significant snaps for you. And we just haven't seen him a lot because, you had guys like Zaire Franklin and EJ Speed, but I think it's an open competition, Derek. I don't think Jalen Carlisle has that spot secured at all. I really believe this is one where they're going to roll whoever they believe fits that wheel position the best. And it does seem like Cameron McGrone is a, pretty decent, in that position. So I will be curious to see how that does continue on. But it definitely does seem like it is less of a slam dunk that Jalen Carlisle is that starter.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting, as I said before, about that linebacker group and who makes
how about
it
real
goes.
Quick? How about the backup Mike Joe Bashi, the undrafted kid? I mean, he's been making plays.
I'm not surprised. I mean, again, we've been saying it. I mean, he feels like he's been getting an interception almost every practice at this point. I mean, again, there are more weak side linebackers on the roster currently as it sits than there is the Mike linebackers. So we'll see how that works with, the depth chart and everything. I don't know how that'll work. It depends on how Lou Anarumo wants to run it. So it'll play out. But yeah, Bachi being there, I'm not surprised. And then the only really other thing is Justin Wally being the number one corner right now. And honestly, Cody, even if Jalen Jones was 100% healthy right now, I would still put Justin Wally at that number one corner spot right there. Obviously, for a couple different reasons. One, he's been outside of Ward and Kenny, he probably has been one of the best corners in camp outside of that. And of course, with preseason, you want to see what Justin Wally has. You want to see how he does against live competition. So your reaction to Wally being cornerback one to start this?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm surprised how much he has taken this by the horns and run with it this training camp. I mean, from day one, Derek, he has not relinquished a starting spot, whether it's been at the outside corner, whether it's been at the nickel when Kenny's had to miss a little bit of time. Like, he has been everywhere. Like, he has been out there consistently, whatever position that is. Like you said, even when Jalen Jones and Juju Brents were both out there healthy, he was still starting over them. So that is huge. And that's rare, Derek. I mean, we know how much the Colts feel strongly about a player like Jalen Jones. We know how much they love Jalen Jones. Chris Ballard has talked about his love for Jalen Jones. So this Wally kid has to be showing them something impressive. I mean, we've heard of it in camp, what he's been doing. But I mean, for a third-round rookie to come in and do this, I mean, that is impressive in itself right there. And obviously, we heard it, Derek. I've said it before, but when the Colts were in the draft room, talking about Justin Wally, when they were viewing his film and when they eventually took him, Chris Ballard said, out of all the picks, he was the one I was going to be the most upset about. And that's over guys like Tyler Warren. That's over JT Tuimuluau. That's even over like DJ Giddens, like players that we're really high on. And that's saying something right there. And when everybody said, including us, we were like, why do you draft a corner? You don't need a corner. Well, apparently the Colts felt differently. And obviously it's still, early into, everything, and preseason week 1 hasn't even happened yet. But like that's notable. That's very notable that Justin Wally continues to get snaps over guys that have proven they can play at a pretty high level when they're out there. Jalen Jones, Juju Brents, when they're healthy, they can play at a pretty good high level. So I think that's just less on them and more on just how impressive this young kid, Justin Wally, has been.
Yeah, no doubt. He has been on top of everything so far. And obviously the Colts are wanting to get a look and see what this kid is made of against different competition. But outside of that, there's really not a whole lot else to really go off of. Again, this is preseason week 1 and dealing with your injuries and a whole bunch of other things.
So yeah, I will say this, Derek, though. Like, I think a lot of these rookies make the roster. Like, a lot of these rookies. Like, last year, there was a lot of rookies that didn't make the roster. I think this year could be different. I mean, realistically, what you look at, obviously, we know Tyler Warren, JT Tuimoloau, Justin Wally, they're going to make the roster. No question about that. Jalen Travis is going to make the roster. DJ Giddens is going to make the roster. What's that?
Yeah, I was going to say Giddens will definitely make it.
Hunter Woller's going to make it. I mean, he has been impressive.
I mean, there is a legitimate reason to think that every single one of these guys might actually make the roster.
Honestly, which is like, that doesn't happen a lot, right? And it's not like the Colts team is devoid of talent either, right? It's not like this group has nothing like we've seen, after the 2017 season where there was literally like awful offense, awful defense. That's not the case necessarily. There's definitely a lot of talent in this team. And so for all these rookies to make potentially the roster or a good chunk of them, that's a pretty good impact you want from your rookie class. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I mean, obviously you got to think about it too. I mean, what the chances of being able to have every single one of the players that you draft in a single year to all be on the roster is a very important thing. And I think that a lot of times, Cody, in years past, when Ballard has had a surplus of draft picks, he has tried to either double down in places or pick the wild card type of player. Even going back here to the 2023 draft from before, I mean, again, you talk about your fourth round pick or fifth round pick. You had a corner that didn't make it. Obviously, your running back, Evan Hall, not in there really right now. Titus Leo, you don't have him really anymore. Jake Witt retired after his first season in the league. So, like, and on top of that, the amount of guys on that list also that did make the roster, but they had season-ending injury after season-ending injury. Like, I mean, in 2023, Cody, it could go down as one of the most colossally bad drafts of Chris Ballard's entire career if Anthony Richardson doesn't pan out. Because so far, the only real contributor you have from those is Jalen Jones and Josh Downs. It's really about it. That's all you really got right now. So, and they had 12 draft picks in that draft, Cody. So right now, of the 12 draft picks that you had, only 2 have ever been really any key contributors. And right now you're thinking, Tyler Warren's going to be a key contributor. DJ Giddens is going to have some kind of role in this offense. JT Tuimoloau is going to get his snaps. Same with Justin Wally. I mean, we can keep going with this. So, yeah, you're right. It'll be awesome to see how it breaks down. The only person that I really don't see Colts potentially keeping is Riley Leonard.
But I think he's going to make the practice squad. Like, I think he'll be that Sam Ehlinger third quarterback.
Yeah, I think he will. I think he could too. I mean, it's going to come down to him and Bean. In all honesty, why would they draft another quarterback in Riley Leonard if they didn't think that Jason Bean could have done the same exact thing, right? So
right.
Ultimately,
Tim Smith will be the other one too that I'm curious about. Like, I don't know what he's going to look like because you look at him on right now on the depth chart, Derek, and he is the third string defensive tackle, nose tackle. He's behind Eric Johnson, and we know Eric Johnson's not necessarily a world beater. So is that not a good indication about Tim Smith? I don't know. But yeah, that's the other one I'm not 100% sure on. So him and Riley Leonard would be the two that I'm not sure. I don't think there's a good. I think it's more likely they don't make the roster than they do. At least final 53 man, they could be on the practice squad and stuff. But yeah, all that to say, there's a lot of draft picks that I think honestly might play early, which that doesn't always happen. So that's impressive in itself.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's going to do it for this one, guys. That's us breaking down the Colts' first unofficial depth chart. But that's going to do it for this one. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you so much. And as always, go Colts.